Good evening and welcome to the Action News 5 Digital Desk. I'm Chief Meteorologist Ron Childers alongside my digital desk sidekick, Lydian Coombs. Hey, I haven't seen you in a minute,
I
or at
know,
least
it's been
here.
a minute.
I see you every day in the office, but we haven't had a chance to do this.
It's time to make my re-debut.
Your re-debut? I love that. I love that. And look, we've got stuff to talk about, right?
We sure do.
What's the hottest topic on the web right now on our social streaming and all those platforms?
Definitely weather.
Yeah.
Weather is our top driver, and it certainly is this week. People are, shooting to the grocery stores.
Oh, yeah. But I've already seen pictures of bare shelves at the local grocery stores already.
And I saw Eric's Facebook post earlier today where he was shocked that people, hit the stores so early. But
yeah, he doesn't understand that around. Yeah, that's it. Look, if we had
think there was a hurricane.
He's new to the area for winter weather,
Yep.
so I tell you what. But he comes from a part of the country where winter weather is a huge deal. Eric, before moving to Memphis, was in Twin Falls, Idaho. They started dealing with snow around September, and it's there through April. So he is used to this. But tell you what, those of us who've lived here all our lives, me included, we're not really, are we?
No.
But
no.
It's coming. I tell you, many years ago, Dave Brown taught me, do not mention the word SNOW unless you're absolutely certain. Sunday night, we started talking about snow. And yeah, it is coming, ladies and gentlemen, and we are absolutely certain about that. So hopefully, you've had some time to get ready for what is coming our way, taking care of your home, your car. I had to replace the battery on my car yesterday. So it's time to get ready for some winter weather to come on through the area. We're going to take this half hour and talk about what is coming our way. We're also going to take some time to answer your questions, any questions or concerns you may have. Tonight we're on the Action News 5 digital platforms. That is also on our app. Weather, are we on the weather app too? We are, aren't we, Lydia?
Yes.
Weather and news app. We're on YouTube and we're on Facebook right now streaming. Now the cool thing about being on Facebook is if you have a question, you can answer it. Just enter it there in the comments. Lydian's going to go through, and we'll answer some of those coming up. All right. So let me answer the first question. Yes, it's going to rain. It's going to snow at your house. Okay. It is going to snow. So get ready for that. The good news, we're not going to be dealing with ice. I just got off the phone with my dear friend Ryan Vaughn, who's up in Jonesboro at our sister station KAIT, and we often consult during big weather events like this. And so we're both very thankful that this is basically an all-snow system. There's a slight chance of a little icy mix, but I think it's going to be just outside of our coverage area, and we'll touch on that more in just a moment. But there will be an impactful snowfall over the entire Mid-South. And listen, anytime we pick up more than an inch of snow right around this area, it creates some big problems. We're looking at a lot more than that this time around. So let's get right to it. Lydian, shall we begin? Here we go.
Why not?
Oh, we missed the Mighty Lights show, didn't we? I love that when it's going off the top and bottom of the hour. It's lovely. But I tell you what was lovely today is the blue sky and the sunshine and the dry weather. So hopefully it allowed you some time to get ready, go to the grocery store, take care of your house, your car, and everybody else, because things are about to change. Your first alert to tracking snow. Here are the basic facts. It begins Thursday night. It's going to continue through Friday, and yes, there will be accumulation. The National Weather Service, a couple of days ago, or yesterday, I think it was yesterday, my days are all running together, had issued a winter storm watch that was going to go into effect at 6 p.m. Thursday. That didn't even get a chance. It is now a winter storm warning. It is for the entire Action News 5 coverage area, all of West Tennessee, all of northern Mississippi. It extends well into western Kentucky, southeastern Missouri, and the entire state of Arkansas. That's going to be in place from 6 p.m. Thursday, more specifically for our area, 6 p.m. Thursday to 6 a.m. Saturday. Now, is it going to snow from 6 p. Thursday to 6 a.m. Saturday? No, it is not. But in that time period, there's going to be a lot of it. And here's what we're thinking right now. At least 2 to 3 inches of snow over the entire coverage area, but most likely around the Memphis metro and for areas just to our south, I think we're going to see about 4 to 6 inches of snow. And there is the likelihood of some isolated areas, especially along and south of the 40 corridor, to pick up anywhere from 8 to 10 inches of snow. So yes, the snow is coming, and this will have a big impact on travel. It's also going to make Friday a first alert weather day. So get ready. The snow is coming, ladies and gentlemen, and we're going to take this half hour to go through all of it. Now, right now, we're in great shape. We've got nothing going on, but look all around us. Check this out. We've got winter weather advisories back into Oklahoma and Texas, into southern Missouri. You get into northern Alabama, we're looking at winter storm watches, even into northern Georgia and the Carolinas, winter storm watches there. Now, nothing here, but the system itself is just now starting to take place in this area right here, down around southern Texas. A low pressure center that's going to eject off to the north and east and ride right along the Gulf Coast, all right? So typically we'll see a low pressure center develop in southern Texas, and then it kind of moves inland. This one's going to ride right along the coast, and as a result, it's going to throw all that Gulf moisture right into the mid-south where cold air is firmly entrenched across the area. And that's going to be followed by another cold front driving it. That's going to give that moisture a little lift so that we see that really starting to seed those clouds. And we'll start to see that mixing in with that colder air. So for us, this setup is a snow setup. That's good because we're not going to be dealing with ice. Nothing like that. Ice will just shut things down for days on end. Snow, we can get around in. Again, a look outside from our camera downtown at Memphis International. It is clear, it's 25. The sunshine was lovely today. Did you like that?
Yeah, I did.
Yeah.
It was very nice to see the sun for once.
Man, finally, it was great. The clouds stuck around yesterday. We even had flurries yesterday, left a little bit of a dusting around many areas, even here in Memphis. We only hit 33 today. We finally climbed above freezing today. So 33 was our high, and we were only there for a minute. Right now, we got a light northwest wind. Let's take a look at Futurecast from now until about midnight tonight. I think we're going to have a clear sky. We'll see temps fall in the mid to upper range of the 20s by midnight. It is going to be a cold and clear night tonight. Now, by 9 in the morning, we're looking at temps upper 20s to near 30, but clouds are going to start approaching from the west. And as we get into the afternoon, those clouds thicken up. That's going to make for a mostly cloudy sky to overcast conditions in many areas. North Mississippi, it may take a little longer for those clouds to build in there, but they're coming. And notice just to our west, I think by tomorrow, 3 in the afternoon, central Arkansas is going to be dealing with heavy snow. We ought to have some really cool video coming out of there.
Yeah. Yep, I'm definitely excited.
Yeah, so I want you to come back to our website frequently throughout the day tomorrow. We're going to have weather updates, and then Lydia and our web team will be looking for snow video and getting that online, and I'm sure we'll have some of in our newscasts as well. But as we get into the evening, notice still mainly clouds, but overcast, likely some flurries around 7 o'clock. But as we get into the late night hours, that's when that snow is going to start to knock on the door of the Mississippi River, and it's coming into the Action News 5 coverage area. We'll likely already have some pretty decent snow bands in parts of eastern Arkansas and especially south of the 40 corridor. Now, the day tomorrow, if you haven't done any snow preps, and I'm talking about making sure your car tires are properly inflated, making sure your heating system in the car works, whatever you need to do, tomorrow is the day to get it done, all right? Because I think it's going to be dry through the day. It's still going to be cold. Should be right around 21 and clear at 7 in the morning. We'll be in the mid-30s with partly cloudy sky by noon, but do believe it'll be overcast by 3, and those clouds are going to linger into the evening, but you will have good conditions to take care of things. Also, take a moment, check on your elderly friends, neighbors, relatives, make sure they're prepared, make sure they've got food, make sure they're warm, and they're ready to ride this out. It's not going to be that big of a deal as long as you stay in your home, but you do want to make sure that you've got some food, you've got water, and a warm place to be. Don't forget about your pets too. You know what to do there. Now let's talk more specifically about what's going to come through Thursday night. That's when I think we could really see some heavy bands. And I think Friday morning, Lydian, we're going to be waking up to heavy snow, especially south of the 40 corridor. You see those areas in the darker blue? Oh, yeah. That's where we're likely to find the heavier bands. We see these little deformation zones set up. Just these little bands of precipitation, you know, and I want to liken this to rainfall, all right? Because I mean, we're dealing with precipitation, and oftentimes you will see 1/10 of an inch of rain that falls in East Memphis and 1/4 of an inch of rain that falls in Cordova. Well, when it comes to snow, that 1/10 of an inch on a 1 to 10 scale, and I think that's what we're going to be dealing with tomorrow, that 1/10 of an inch in East Memphis would equal to about an inch of snow. Whereas 1/4 of an inch of precipitation, liquid precip coming down in Cordova or wherever, that would indicate about 2.5 inches of snow. So big difference on just a little micro scale of precip. So that's something we have to keep in mind, and that's why it's really difficult to forecast snowfall, because trying to determine where those little bands are going to set up during an event that hasn't even evolved yet. I mean, this thing's still coming together. But that's going to be the nuance and the difference in where we see the higher amounts as opposed to where we see not quite so much. But that makes a huge difference. So that's what we're going to be looking for, and we'll really be able to identify those as the system is moving on in and moving through. So I'm pretty confident in what we have as far as overall snow totals go, but that's why I'm saying there could be some areas that are going to get about 8 to 10 inches of snowfall. So let's move forward with this.
First, I have a question on behalf of all the commenters here on Facebook. You know, you've thrown a lot of numbers at us, Ron, but is it enough to build a snowman?
It will be, yes. And I mean, and it's going to make a great snowman because it's going to be a wet snow, all right? So we've got this warm, moist air that's coming in from the Gulf of Mexico. That's going to be intersecting with the colder air aloft. Now, the cloud physics in it all is going to allow all that moisture to fall in the form of crystals, ice crystals, snowflakes. But we're going to be just above freezing, I do believe, right around the Memphis metro. Now, you don't have to be right at 32 degrees to get snow. As a matter of fact, I've seen snow here in the city with temperatures in the mid-range of the 40s. But that's because it was a very thin layer of warm air at the surface. And as those snowflakes fell, they're melting, melting, melting. You get that big wet snow that would melt on contact. This is that there will be a little bit of melting in there, making for the big wet, fluffy snowflakes. That has a tendency to accumulate quickly. But yes, you will be able to build the snowman, and I think there are going to be some pretty good snowball fights going on too. That'll be a good time. That'll be a good time. Look, if you've got a sled, it's going to be great sledding weather. This is not going to be that dry snow that some of us may be familiar with, you know, that snow that's hard to compact. That happens in a very cold air mass when typically temperatures are at or below freezing at the surface level. So we'll be a couple of degrees above freezing at the surface, but we're still going to have a decent depth of below freezing air just above, which will maintain that in remaining all snowflakes and ice crystals. So yeah, that was a good question, by the way. Snowman, incoming snowman. Just don't do the grassy ones. You know, have you seen those? You know, the ones in snowman when you don't really have enough of snow to make a really good snowman, and then it's kind of got grass all in it.
Yeah, but you know,
those are banned.
A little body hair is, you know, that's normal.
Well, I think there's going to be plenty of snow to make a grass-free snowman. So
Roger
get
that.
ready for that. All right, so we pick up Futurecast at 8 o'clock Friday morning. This is likely what we are going to be waking up to. All right, so be prepared for it. Then as the afternoon progresses, showing that snow trying to taper off. Now, this is the graph forecast model. This is exclusive to our MAX system that we use here at Action News 5. It's showing the bulk of it ending to our west in eastern Arkansas, still continuing into parts of West Tennessee, northern Mississippi, but really tapering off as we get into the later afternoon and evening. I'm not thoroughly convinced that that's going to be the case. I think Futurecast may be underperforming just a bit, and a big part of it is also going to be determined by the track of the low and the speed with which it moves off to the east. But I think there will still be some snow falling in the area as we head on into the evening hours. Now, it should be out of here by 11, 12 o'clock Friday night. All said and done, maybe a few flurries. Temperatures are going to start to fall back in the 20s tomorrow night. But whatever is on the ground Friday is going to be there on Saturday. So just know the snow's coming. Here's a more specific map to give you a better idea of what we're looking at as far as snowfall amounts go. I think from Dyersburg to around I-40, about 2 to 5 inches of snow. All right, maybe slightly higher just to the north of 40, but that's the general target area right there. Then from Memphis south and along and south of I-40 in eastern Arkansas, we're going to find 4 to 6 inches of snow. And I think we're going to see some bands of 8 to 10 inches, possibly near DeSoto County, and really right there along the Memphis or along the Tennessee-Mississippi state line. So that could extend out into Benton, Tippah County as well. And look, Oxford, you're on track for some very heavy snow, so get ready for that. Now, you get into southern Lafayette County, I talked about the possibility there being maybe a little band of icy conditions. If we're going to see anything like that, I think it will be south of Highway 278, and that's really from like Clarksdale to Oxford and points east. So that's what I'm looking at there. But for the most part, I am 98% confident that the Action News 5 coverage area is just going to get snow. Now, let me show you this because, yes, there will be some impacts, all right? So here's what you need to know. Snow. It's going to begin Thursday night. It's going to continue through Friday, all right? Now, if you have plans for Thursday evening, I think you'll be okay up until about maybe 8, 9 o'clock, but you certainly want to be home by 10 Thursday night because that's when I think we're going to start to really see the heavier snow move in. There will be several hours of snow through Friday into Friday afternoon and early evening. Again, as I mentioned, the snow will average about 2 to 6 inches for most areas, but higher amounts are going to be possible. And that is going to create some big problems with travel. So if you do not have to be out on Friday, I encourage you to stay home. Just stay home, enjoy the snow, enjoy the day. We're going to be keeping you informed throughout the day on Action News 5, on the air, on the web, on the First Alert weather app, and all around. So it's going to be a great place to be, safe right there at home. So what about the weekend? So look at let's take a look at temperatures because whatever falls Friday is going to be on the ground Saturday. We're going to fall into the mid-20s Friday night. We're only going to see a high Saturday of 34. And right now, I'm thinking it's going to be mostly cloudy. I've seen a couple of other folks forecasting some sunshine. I'm not going to completely rule that out, but I think we could see a little low-level cloud deck lingering over the area. That's going to limit the sunshine and the melting we would get from that. So that's going to keep snow on the ground. And then we're likely to fall in the low to mid-20s Saturday night. Should get back to 40 Sunday. I may be overly optimistic on that. With snow on the ground, it may be tough for us to get out of the 30s, but I do believe Sunday we'll have some sunshine. It's still going to be cold, though, going into next week. This could actually, Liddy, and I think this could impact some businesses, maybe even schools for Monday, depending on what's still on the ground, and especially if we get a heavy snow. So know that anytime we get more than 4 inches of snow, you get about 4 inches of snow around this part of the country, it kind of shuts things down at least for a day.
Yep.
But if we're looking at twice that or maybe even more in some areas, that could create some big problems, especially in our rural or outlying communities. So I want you to get the app. Did I say that yet? Have I said get the app? Get the Action News 5 First Alert Weather app. Put that on your smartphone.
How much does it cost?
It's free. Free 99. Best app going out there, too. And look, this is a great app because you're going to get video updates from the Action News 5 First Alert Weather team. The app follows you so you get specific weather information for your specific location, hour-by-hour forecasts, daily forecasts, and the cool thing about the app also, it's got the interactive radar, and you can sit there and just scroll through and track the snow to your heart's content. So I encourage you to get it. Also, there's another cool feature on the First Alert Weather app, snow pictures. We're going to want to see them, all of them. So you can take a picture on your phone and then scroll down on the app and just click Submit Picture here. Boom, comes here. We're able to put it on the air. So we want to see your snow pictures.
Yes, and that's just one of the many ways you can send us pictures, and whatever way is easy for you. You can email them, you can contact us on any of our messenger, social media messenger platforms. So
slide into their DMs.
Yes.
That's what it is. You can slide into the Action News 5 DMs. Now, what's the email address?
So the email address that goes to everybody in the newsroom is desk, D-E-S-K, at WMCTV.com.
Good deal. Take pictures. We want to see them. We've already seen some snow already from that big Arctic blast that just gripped the area. And I tell you what, there have already been big problems. As a matter of fact, over the weekend, at the beginning of the week, flights were canceled across the country. Fortunately, we just dealt with bitter cold, but you've seen some stuff with other snow things too, haven't you?
Yeah, I sure have. So here's a video in St. Charles, Missouri.
Oh.
This was shot today, and so this is a look at one of the main roadways here in St. Charles.
And that's snow that's not from this system. That was from the system that moved through over the weekend at the beginning of the week. Oh. They've got more snow coming. So they'll be adding to that.
I'm sure
that is really cool drone video,
though.
Yeah,
cool.
I love that.
Very pretty with all the Christmas decorations stuff. Anyways.
I'm kind of glad I still have I'm sorry to my neighbors. I apologize for having not taken down my Christmas decor yet.
Oh, I haven't either.
But it's going to be really cool with the snow on the ground.
Yeah,
so
I know,
hopefully.
It's so pretty.
Yeah.
Like,
Hopefully I'll be able to get a picture of that. Anyway, it's going to be busy. I'm going to be working on Friday, through the day Friday, Saturday. I'll be here on Saturday too. So hopefully I see a little more. What else you got for us?
Here's in East Tennessee. This is, what is this? This is from our sister station in Knoxville, but this is the Tellico Plains area.
Spencer Denton's new television station, LVT, WLVT, our gray station in East Tennessee.
This video, perhaps.
Yep.
But yeah, this is what it's looking like over there. Is this also the system you were talking about earlier, the one that already passed?
This was that first round, that big Arctic blast that they got there. Is amazing. Look, this system is going to impact the entire state of Tennessee. This is going to bring snow to the entire state. So there's more coming for East Tennessee. There's more coming from Missouri. Arkansas is going to get this. And so this one is a big one that's going to impact a large swath of the southeastern United States. What about preps and getting ready?
Yes.
What are our city and county officials doing there?
One of our commenters on Facebook, Jennifer, thank you for watching, Jennifer. She says, since this is snow and not ice, do we have to worry about power outages? Well, the people in charge are preparing for power outages. So this is actually the first item on my notes. So let's
that's
rip
it.
it
You
out.
got notes. Okay.
yeah, this is for real. So MLGW is powered by Tennessee Valley Authority, and last year they invested $430 million to enhance reliability. So that includes upgraded insulation and a new system to send real-time readings to a control center that allows operators to be more responsive during freezing conditions. Here in Memphis, MLGW says customers should not expect outages like last year. However,
we had ice last year too.
Yes.
That also complicated things. That
Yep,
puts a
and the
tremendous
bull
amount
water
of weight
notices.
on the lines and tree limbs as well.
True. But CEO Doug McGowan of MLGW says the utility system is in good shape.
That's great.
Equipment has been weatherized, and crews are prepared for freezing temperatures, snowfall. He's also urging residents to prepare now for potential water line breaks.
That's the biggie.
So drip your faucets, cover your outdoor faucets, and be prepared for that.
And look, if you haven't covered those outdoor faucets yet, you're too late. Do it, but at the same time, those pipes may be already frozen because we've had temperatures in the 20s at night. I do have to give big props to MLGW and their tree trimming initiative that they did throughout last year. Moving or cutting away those limbs really removes a huge just factor in tree limbs falling on lines and creating power outages there. So they've done a great job of going around the city and just making sure that there's nothing to interfere with those lines or come down on them. So that's going to help. The snow, oftentimes, will collect on the power lines, not quite as heavy. So we're not dealing with an ice situation. I think we're going to be in good shape. Frozen pipes, that's really going to be the big issue with overnight lows in the 20s. Just let those faucets drip at night. And Doug McGowan also made a great point in talking about, because people worry about, well, my water bill's going to go through the roof. It's a matter of pennies at most, letting your pipes or letting your faucets drip. So I think he was saying it would cost, you'd have to leak about 4,000 gallons before you see like $1 difference. So letting your faucets drip is only going to be close to 100 gallons of water. Pennies, if that. So let those faucets drip
And
at
as
night.
somebody who's had pipes burst in my
Snowfall.
home before, let me tell you, those pennies are nothing compared to the repair costs when your pipes burst in your home. So I promise you won't care about that if your pipes burst.
Oh, yeah. And the plumber is your new best friend.
Yep.
Oh,
Yeah, no. A nightmare you want to avoid for sure. For sure.
what else you got for us, Lydian?
Well, going off of the pipe discussion, in Olive Branch, the leaders want you to drip your faucets, of course, but mark your meters. So I have a graphic to show right here.
That's good.
So the city of Olive Branch is urging people living there to drip faucets, but they're also handing out blue flags so residents can mark water meters so the crews can find them quickly if their pipes burst. So if you need a flag, go to the Public Works building at 10175 Highway 178 or the City Hall Utility Billing Department.
That's great advice for everybody, really. And I don't, even if you don't have the little flag, maybe you could put a little stick or some sort of marker there, because look, the snow's going to fall. It's going to cover your whole lawn. If your pipes freeze and a plumber's got to get in there Monday, that snow may not be melted, and they're still got to look around for the water meter to shut the water off. But if there's some sort of marker there or something that's going to, stick up above the snow to show where that water meter cutoff is, that's going to come in very handy. So that's great advice for all of us.
Yes.
DeSoto
but in
County,
Olive Branch, they're handing them out.
yeah,
those flags.
that's
but,
awesome. That is smart. Everybody needs to do that.
Yeah.
DeSoto County's got something else kind of cool though.
Oh
this
yeah,
year,
they
don't
do.
they?
They sure do. So today they posted this to Facebook. So they got a new snowplow.
They have a snowplow.
They haven't used it yet. They're planning on rolling it out to be used for the first time this upcoming Friday. But yeah, pretty cool. Here, let me actually run that video again. Yeah. Yeah, pretty cool. So what am I looking at here, Ron? Do you know how
That
these
is a
things work?
truck with a snowplow. Look, it's just got to be able to get through there, push that snow, and they angle it a little bit so that it kind of goes off the side of the road and clears a path for cars to get through and travel a bit more safely than they would if they were traveling through inches and inches of snow. Now, we have a couple of snowplows here in the city.
Yes.
Some people think that Memphis has no snowplows. We do, but really not enough to cover the whole city. That's why I think it's important for everybody, if you don't have to be out Friday, unless it's an absolute emergency, just stay home.
Yes.
Let's just enjoy the snow, stay nice, safe, and warm in your home. So good stuff there. Good stuff.
Yes.
What else you got? Any other questions we need to get to,
Let's see.
Lydia?
Let's take a look. Let's see what people are asking. And people are asking about closures. I don't know if I already spoke on that, but we do have a page on our website for school closures. It's under the weather tab, and it's also on our app. And that is updated by schools. Okay, so when they announce a closure, they also, we have a system where it'll update on our website in real time. So if there's a closure, check that. It'll be up to date. It's what also fuels the crawl at the bottom of the screen on your television. So that'll be up to date, and you can check that for school schedule changes or closures, FYI.
And look, kiddos, probably most areas aren't going to go to school Friday. I'm going out on a limb saying that. But at the same time, do your homework Thursday night.
Yes.
Just get it done. Then you can play in the snow all day Friday. So don't think that, oh, well, we're not going to go to school Friday. I can put my homework off. Just do it. Get it done. Knock it off the list.
Vince asks, do you expect ice to be an issue into next week?
You know, that's a great question, Vince, because I think we're going to be dealing with black ice, especially on bridges and overpasses. Given the fact that it's going to be a wet snow, there will be some melting that takes place on streets. The Earth's still radiating warmth back into the atmosphere, but I do believe there will be some decent melting on streets. It's when the overnight lows fall into the 20s. That's when we see that hard freeze, and especially on bridges and overpasses, because it's got that cold air running over it and above it, so everything on the bridge is going to freeze. I think travel could be a problem for us on Monday, especially in some of our outlying and rural areas. So I'm not ruling it out completely, and it certainly will be an issue on Saturday with any compacted snow, that hard freeze Friday night, leading into Saturday morning could be a little treacherous on the streets.
Yes, and if you're traveling, if you're flying or planning on flying, the Memphis International Airport is also preparing. So they say they're working around the clock to clear ramps, service roads, terminal roadways, and with preventing ice and snow buildup on the runways. Passengers are asked to check in with their airlines frequently to get the most up-to-date information about their flight status. The airport is also recommending travelers to arrive 2 hours ahead of their flight in case of poor road conditions.
Yeah, that's great advice. And look, really, I think the biggest issue with flights Saturday, not necessarily the flights themselves, because our airport does a great job of clearing those runways, keeping them open. FedEx, of course, our major user of the airport there, they've got to get those planes in and out. But in doing so, it allows the commercial flights to continue as well. But the biggest issue may actually be getting to the airport. So good advice to be there at least 2 hours ahead of time. So anyway, that's what we got there. What else you got for us? Anything good, question-wise, or anything like that? Did we miss anybody?
Well, it seems like that's pretty much it for the questions.
Okay.
Wardell says he bought a half gallon of milk at the store, and that's all. Well, we appreciate you for
Good stuff.
it's just short
Good
errands.
stuff. Why do we need bread and milk, though? I don't understand that. I'd be buying like pizzas and chicken nuggets.
Well, he says he's making soup, so I guess his recipe calls for soup.
That's good.
But do you want to talk about what's going on the other side of the country real quick at all?
Yeah, let's do this because this is heartbreaking.
Yes.
You're talking about Southern California, am I right?
Yes.
Yeah. Let's take a look.
So
What do you got?
Here, here's just one of many videos of what's going on.
It's
So,
apocalyptic of sorts.
yes, massive wildfires roaring through the Los Angeles area. It's leaving neighborhoods in ruins.
There's celebrity homes burned to the ground.
Yes, and a few had to evacuate, including Mark Hamill, Mandy Moore, James Woods were among those forced to flee. But yeah, landmarks made famous by Hollywood are also, in danger.
Bria just told me Paris Hilton's Hollywood home.
Oh,
Is it
no.
Malibu? Her Malibu home? Gone.
Oh, God.
Gone. So the Santa Ana winds, it's an annual occurrence out there, and it is winds that come through those canyons. It's dry air. You get a lot of brush. All it takes is a small spark. You combine that with 50, 60 mile an hour winds, and you get these raging fires. It is heartbreaking, heart-wrenching,
Yes.
hard to look
at.
at.
5 people have died as a result of these wildfires. And, I want to note that there are multiple wildfires. It's not just one. There are at least 3. And they do have names too, but I don't have them here. But yeah.
The Palisades fire is the one that is the most, that's been the most impactful, I do believe. But this is impacting LA, Malibu. I think Newport Beach was even included in this as well. It is just so hard to see. And firefighters, they're out there. And look, even the hydrants that are in the neighborhoods there, they're not equipped. They don't pump enough water to put out these raging brush fires. So this is just, it's cataclysmic for people in that area and just heartbreaking to see. So yeah, we're gonna deal with a little snow here in the Mid-South, and we're gonna get through that just fine. But just keep the folks in Southern California in your thoughts and prayers, because they're going to have a long, long road to recovery. It's one thing when you're dealing with the little snow. It's another thing when a fire has taken everything you own. So that's been very difficult to see. Any final thoughts before we wrap it up here? I know I kept you a little longer than we'd expected.
That's all right.
Lydian still has work to do, and so do I, believe it or not. Although
So
this
we got
is
a
work,
special
right?
comment.
Yeah, it's work. We're working.
Guess who commented? Guess who's watching?
I know, is my buddy Ryan Vaughn watching?
This is a different buddy, one who we mentioned earlier.
Is
someone who's over in Knoxville now.
Is it Spencer?
Yeah,
Spencer.
Spencer's watching.
Spencer,
He said-
come back.
He said that guy Ron giving the snow forecast is pretty solid. I'm gonna reply saying I don't know. We're thinking about letting.
I
it
have
go.
missed you, buddy, especially in this event. But I tell you
Yes.
what, Eric's been doing a great job handling the entire Action News 5 First Alert weather team as well. So we're wishing you well in Knoxville, Spencer. Yeah, you've got more coming, buddy, and you can have that. But here in the Mid-South, it's going to be all about the snow. And just to wrap it up, it starts Thursday night before midnight for the most part. I think as we get in the late night, we're going to be dealing with snow all over. It will continue for several hours through the day Friday. By the time it's all said and done, from Memphis south, about 4 to 6 inches of snow. Could see 8 to 10 inches of snow in some areas. You go north of Memphis, still on track for about 2 to 5 inches of snow. The bottom line, the entire Action News 5 coverage area is going to get snow, and it will impact travel Thursday night, Friday night, and likely Saturday. So stay safe, stay weather aware, and stay with Action News 5. We'll keep you updated on the air, on the web, and on the First Alert News and Weather app. So, Lydian, thank you very much for the assist tonight. It's good to be back on the digital desk with you.
Thank you, Ron.
We're working out a way so we can do this all the time.
Yes.
It just, you know, hey, take a little time, dilly-dally on the web. It's a lot of
Yeah.
fun. So thank you for joining us tonight. We appreciate all of you watching on Facebook, on YouTube, on our digital app. And don't forget, you can get the Action News 5 app on Amazon Fire, on Roku, and on Apple TV. So go there, download the app. Lots of digital content. You can watch our newscast live there as well. So great thing to have. Lydian, great to have you alongside. Thank you very much. And let's do it again tomorrow. You want to?
Yeah, let's go. Let's go ahead and book that.
7:30ish?
Yeah.
We'll
if
do
that's
it.
good with you, it's a date.
All right. Take care of yourselves. Everybody stay safe, stay warm. Again, check on your elderly friends, neighbors, relatives. Take care of your pets. Bring them in if you can. If not, make sure they've got shelter and warm bedding. And the kiddos, when they go out to play, hats, coats, and gloves for everybody. It's going to be cold out there. We don't want anybody getting frostbite. You guys have a safe night. I invite you to join me, Joe Birch, and Joy Redmond for Action News 5 at 10. Griffin Demaray's got sports going on, so we'll have some new info to share with you tonight about the snow, a little more specifics on amounts and timing. So we hope you'll join us then. Have a good night.
Thank you for watching.